Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our ATIM Technical Assistance webinar. I'm going to turn the floor over to Natasha right away so that we can get started answering any questions that you might have. Please type them into the chat pod so that we can capture them for the FAQ section.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for answering the questions on what you would like to cover today. It looks like there's a lot of things that everybody would like to take a look at, so we'll go through those. I just wanted to start out with going through some of the items that have been updated or released since our last technical assistance webinar. And so you should be able to see my computer screen. I'm at the ATIM guide. And you can see that we have an ATIM update section. So I just want to point this out to make sure everyone knows that this information is here. So if you feel that you've missed something, we put a lot of the updates up here. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this. We had our last webinar on the 7th. We've sent out our focused message. Each week we are sending out a message. So if you're just now getting those because you've been added to the list, or if you don't receive those and you would like to have those added, then please do let us know. Send an email to info@lmyworknet.com, and we'll make sure that you get on our notification list. So we have the listing of those focused messages, so that those will be helpful to you. We also added the logistics core competencies to the site. So those are also available in the manufacturing competency guide, as well as the worksheets are updated to include those core competencies. So if you haven't had an opportunity to take a look at that, then you can go ahead and do that. Also, we have added the core competency list to the customer view. And so that's available, and you can also, it's in the expanded bridge section. So whenever if you had changed the target occupation area, then the core competencies will be, modified so that it matches what the target occupation is. So they will know those up front. And then another big area that we did was updating the work-based learning job placement section. We talked about that a little bit last time during our last technical assistance webinar. So I want to take a look at that and show you that. We also have the updated HAL reports that are available for you. And then we also added the team report. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the ATIM dashboard. And I'm going to start out with showing you the work-based learning placement area that we've added. So if I go to my customer list, you'll see that it automatically is defaulted to the enrolled list now. You can still access your intake people. You just need to click over to the intake, but we've changed it so that the default is your enrolled since you have people with plans. And so we're going to take a look at Alan Alda's plan. On edit, so it's just taking a little bit longer. But with the job placement and work-based learning placement section, what happens is that you will post your jobs through the work-based learning section that's in ATIM, and those jobs that are posted are made available to the customers through their training plan. And so to view that now, you simply go to their customers, the training plan, okay, and then you can go to the job placement piece, and you can enter their start and end date. The start and end date would really be for that work-based learning piece. What do you have? Do you have some internships or, um, job shadowing that you would like them to do? So you can enter those start and end dates, again, on and off track, which is, just standard with the rest of the plan. We still have your comment section and past comments. You can also indicate whenever that service is complete. You can filter between, just all of the work-based learning and job search postings that are available for the person for this target occupation, which happens to be logistics. So you can see everything, or you can just see the items that are bookmarked. Now, as of today, the way that your customers see these items is that you have to bookmark them, okay? So you can see which items are bookmarked. We have an icon next to them. Let's say I want to look at this dispatcher posting. I take a look at, I click on the dispatcher option. I can see all the job information related to that posting, the location, what is the job, when in the posting, how long it's going to be available, the job description, how to apply, if there's any type of hourly wage. I can also see the job requirements. So these were identified when you entered in the job posting, as well as the job competencies. So you'll have your core competencies that are available that automatically are populated with this occupation. And then if you had any additional competencies that the employer is would like to have that's requiring for this job as well. You have your icons, so you can either bookmark this job, so I can bookmark it. Once I bookmark the job, if the job, let's just say that today's date is the 25th, and this job posting is only until the 24th. On the 25th, if this job is bookmarked, it'll still be available. It'll still show up. So you can unbookmark it at any time as well. We have a printer-friendly version, and then we have an X just to simply close out that list. You can close it out as well by just selecting the job. Okay. So
Natasha, we have a question from the audience. Have the views for the customers been rolled out? Will you provide us with some training on what the customer sees?
Yes, I can do that right now. Let me just see. I'm logged in as Adam Alda. So let me go ahead, and I'm going into the test site. Whatever remembers me. Site. Okay, and so they will access the, let me go real quick over to our ATIM page. So if I'm looking at this from our customer's view, I will go to the same public page that I have always expected to go to. I will go to where it says return to your ATIM account. We changed that from return to your ATIM application to account because now they can access more than just their application. So once I log in, you can see this is our testing. Hello, enrolled A. So I'm in as a customer. I can see my application, my profile, my plan. I want to take a look at my plan. Oh, I already did it. Okay. And I can see the view for my plan. I can see just the highlights, kind of like you would see in your preview. Now, when I get down to the job placement section, I can see the bookmarked items. And the bookmarked items are jobs that you have bookmarked as the case manager, career advisor. So you want your customer to take a look at these, these jobs. The only way currently that they'll be able to see work-based learning, like internships, job shadowing, those type of jobs, will be if you bookmark them. so that you can, display it so that they can participate with those work-based learning type activities. But they will automatically get a default view for anything that is marked as permanent employment. They'll be able to see anything that has been posted for that target occupation. So for permanent employment, they can see everything posted for that target occupation. Anything that's a work-based learning opportunity, or if you just happen to say, hey, I want you to take a look at this particular permanent job employment opportunity, then those will be displayed in the bookmarks.
Natasha, we have another question. It says not bookmarked by customer, but overall the region, or can we bookmark for individuals?
This is bookmarked for individuals right now. You definitely, these are bookmarked for individuals, not by region. But as I mentioned before, for all the permanent employment, they will be able to see everything that's made available for that target occupation. So that's your customer view. And that will probably kick me out because I'm logged in as two different people in the same window. But this is the view that was for the career advisor. So you have the ability to bookmark these. Let me go back over to the customer view. If I select any of these items, they have all the details that they need that are included for that particular either work-based learning or job posting.
All right, and then we have another question that says, can you show the people on the call how they can bookmark a job for a specific individual?
Okay, so this is bookmarking for a specific individual. If you're going, when you go through their training and employment plan, one of the pieces that you're referring to, I believe, is, hold on, it's getting confused because I'm logged in as two people. Let me go ahead and get out of that and log back in real quick. Okay. So from a training plan, you can bookmark for individuals. Take a look from the listing that's provided. You as the workforce partner will be able to see all of the work-based learning opportunities right now, and you can bookmark them for the individual through their training plan. Now, the other area that I'm assuming that you're referring to because of past webinars and past things that we've discussed is through the work-based learning job opening and forecast. So for the forecast, the openings, remember the openings are the ones that show up in the training plans. We're going to just go ahead and select our first area. And I want to select this particular job. And the section that you're referring to is right here. And for right now, as of today, everything that you have that you enter will show to all applicants in the target occupation. And later on today and tomorrow, we'll be testing the display to the following users. So you need to, I'm assuming that's what you're referring to, Sarah. Yeah. So from this view is where you'll be able to, specifically display it to, if you want to show it to 5 people, 13 people, 20 people, you can just go through your list. What you'll see is a listing of all the people that you have access to, and you can select those individuals so that this particular job shows to those individuals and is automatically flagged within their account. And then they will see it in the same bookmark section with a flag. So that's not currently on edit yet. Otherwise, I would show it to you right now. But as I said, we'll be testing out later on today and tomorrow. So that will be going out this week. And then we'll update the instructions as well to include that information. Right, okay, I see Pam's question, who can make changes to the worksite? Right now, the ELWIA, anyone with ELWIA staff or project manager can update the worksite information. Okay, so any other questions on just specifically on the work-based learning? Okay, can the same opportunities be bookmarked for multiple trainees? Yes, they can. And by the same or different case managers. Yep. You can have, it's just whenever the job is bookmarked, let's just say, okay, right now, any job that I enter into this posting section, if I say that it's going to show to all participants in the target occupation, anything that is, a job will show to everybody that has selected that target occupation. If I have a work-based learning opportunity and you want to show it to everybody, all applicants in the target application, really what it's going to go to at this time, it's going to be made available so any career advisor can take a look at those work-based learning opportunities and bookmark them. So once the career advisor is going to have the same view for, whenever they go in and take a look at that person, they're going to see if an opportunity is already bookmarked or if it's not, so you don't need to obviously re-bookmark it if it's already bookmarked. But you can, other case managers can bookmark that same opportunity for other people in the region as well. If you, when this is available later this week, when you display to the following users, the only people that are going to see it are the ones that have been selected through this section. Is that clear? Okay, great. Okay, so that is our release. And that, again, just to clarify, this release that I'm talking about through the work-based learning job posting section, that will be this week. And what's already currently available to you through, for your customers, which you can start using today or even last week, is through your customers' personalized training and employment plans. Your customers enrolled, and then through their training plan, you can go ahead and start bookmarking those opportunities for your customers. It's already out there and available. The other area that is available is that's new is the team's report. The team report includes the region, the ALWIA, the partner names, and their role. It also includes the customer names with their target occupation and their, I'm sorry, not target occupation, but target occupational area, whether that's machining, CNC, machining general, logistics, etc. And then their SPR ID. So if you have access to multiple regions, you can filter out by region, search by region. Otherwise, you can have an overview for your listing of your teams. Where's it going to? There we go. And I just hit export, so it's exporting my list of people, my teams. Scan these out so you can see them. There we go. And again, team name, I can filter by team name. For those that aren't as familiar with Excel, what you can simply do is select this top row, go to the top up here, it says filter, you can choose to filter, and then you can just easily say, I want to see anybody who has something, who's on this, Breeze team. I can filter it out by there. I can see the region. I can see how many partners I have. Maybe I only want to see customers. filter it down to see customers. I can see their names and their LWIA that they're associated with, if they have an SPR ID. Now remember, we're talking about enrolled customers, so the people that are in the treatment group will have an SPR ID. The people that are in veterans, the veterans group will not have an SPR ID because, remember, they did not go through random assignment. They were just simply put into the program. And then you can easily, filter to see what kind of people, what is the mix of people with their target occupation area. So that's the teams report. Another area, since we're in the report section, that has come up is I've had a few people say, well, I can't find their application, and that's, there's a lot of information, so sometimes it's easy to, forget or to lose a person if they've been withdrawn. I can't remember, were they withdrawn or were they not? You as an LWIA staff person can access the report section, and one of those reports is the ATIM eligibility report. And so what you can do is you can select this as showing all your applicants. So if you have a person that you're not sure of, you can just simply set the defaults to show you everybody, and this will show you all of your customers. So I can take a look at and sort it out. I can see that Alan Alda, I know this person is already enrolled, and then I know I have some people in here that are simply an intake as well. So if you can't find a person, again, use your ATIM reports, ATIM eligibility reports, and you can see everybody. You can see Alan. I know he's in the treatment group, has a plan, but you can also see customers that have been withdrawn. So again, you can see everybody. Search for your person, go to their profile if you need to, and change them from withdrawn to undo the withdrawal status. So that's just something that's come up recently. Are there any questions about the team report or the ATIM eligibility report that I just went over? Okay. I'm going to reopen this question. I'm going to do a quickie to go through this listing of items that people have identified that they would like to go over. And so what I'd like to do is in the lower left-hand corner, we have a polling question. And this just lets me know that if you're ready to move on, I will not continue to ramble on about a topic if you're ready for me to move on. So, okay. So the first area is outreach. And so under outreach, we have the under Get Started and the ATIM Guide. We do have some resources that you can use to recruit potential employers as well as some participants. And so what specific questions did you have about outreach? We also have the strategy matrix that was made available with some ideas on who to contact.
I'm not seeing anybody typing right now, Natasha, so if you want to kind of like just go on through the different portions of the outreach page.
We have our flyers that you can use. You can customize the Word document flyer. We also have a sample press release. We have sample talking points that you can use to with recruiting people.
And we also have the link to the webinar that we did on the outreach section, that if somebody wants to go back and watch that webinar, then they can see all of the different suggestions that we had for that area.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. Pam is typing. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next section, but we can stop most definitely for Pam when we see your question come in or your comment. Next area is the participant and intake section. The participant intake section, again, this is a lockstep piece for intake. We have the area where you review eligibility. A person is going to complete their TABE if they score 6th grade or higher, or whatever your local process is. Some regions have set a higher grade level, and you need to follow whatever your regional approach is. Okay. I'm going to hold on for just one moment. Okay. Let me take a step back because I saw Pam's question come in. We do have, under Getting Started, we have a section here for recruiting employers, and I actually put together an ATIM partner infographic, and some of this information, for example, like the employer participation roles, that was using some information that was from some of the other regions that have already identified some of the roles that how an employer could participate. And then we have the section where the partner involvement in the process. So there are specific instructions that say, exactly, what you need to do if you are going to need to have access to the ATIM tools. And then we have basically the overall process, and try to use these little icons to just show you where that, that particular type of partner participation roles, where that comes into play within this overall process. And that goes all the way through the entire process. We also have a printer-friendly version of this infographic as well. Okay. Let me go.
Does that answer your question, Pam?
Yes, you need to send the information to Illinois WorkNet, and because we are the only way that you can have access to the ATIM tools. And you'll need to send in their regional, which region they need to have access to, as well as just make sure you let us know that that's a business. So they need to have employer access and the region. Okay. Questions? Okay, so let me go back to the intake process again. The system requires 6th grade minimum, but follow whatever your regional approach is. And and then once you enter that information into IWDS, then that information is available through Illinois WorkNet through the ATIM tools. Go ahead, I can go back to my customers. Let me go to the dashboard. That's where I should really access my intake customers. So once a person completes their application, if they don't have any TABE information in there, then I go to my Has Not Taken TABE list, and I can easily have a filtered list of all the customers that need to have information entered in through IWDS, such as their TABE. If they have passed both the reading and math, then they will end up in the green section. So that means that they can move down to the whole next step. Remember, this is lockstep. If they are in the red area, then they never make it. They never move on down to any of these other sections. Then I go to my WIA eligibility. If they have passed the TABE, but yet I still need to have a little bit more information entered into IWDS before I can hit the certify, attempting to certify them. Once I attempt to certify, it sends the information to Illinois WorkNet. And there might be anywhere up to a 5-minute delay time, just because that's how often it keeps checking IWDS. And then once that the person is determined as eligible, then they can move down to the next section. If they're not eligible, then they just stay right here in this area. Then I have my ATIM eligibility determination, and this is dependent upon whatever your local process is. So it's really important that your regional process. Make sure you follow your regional process for ATIM eligibility determination. It could be, taking interest inventories, interviews, whatever that case may be. Then, again, if I want that filtered list for only the people that are at this stage, I can easily select that link, and it takes me to my list of individuals I need to work with. Again, once they mark them as eligible, then they go down and you can enter in their drug test information. Once you enter their drug test information as passed, then they are available for random assignment. Then the person that completes random assignment in your area will run a random assignment report. They will access that report from the report section. Only people that have access to, that have been identified as the people that are entering in the random assignment, those are the only people that have access to that information. So, and that's the only place that you should get the information that's needed to enter that information in random assignment. If you can't access that report, you need to contact LMI WorkNet, and we will work with you to either identify the person that has that access to that area, or we will work with you and SPR to make sure that you are provided with the correct access. Once the person has been entered, or the customers have been entered into the random assignment system, they will either be assigned to as control or treatment. Okay? If they're control, then they don't move any further. If they're in treatment, then they will be given access to a personalized training and employment plan. If your person is a veteran, and this information comes from IWDS, so since you verify that information, if they're marked as a veteran, they are not displayed so that they won't be entered into the random assignment. What they will do is they will go directly to the enrolled list, and you can still then you can access the personalized training and employment plan. Okay. So that's the intake. So if you want to answer the polling question in the lower left, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to move on. Okay. The next area is creating teams. For creating teams, again, this is up to how your local, your regional approach. So if you are not familiar with your regional approach, then you need to make sure that you become aware of whatever your regional approach is. In some cases, some regions may have one person that sets up all the teams. Other regions may use it so that their case managers set up their team, and that's how they have put together their teams. Another region was considering, basically setting up a team for each individual person for flexibility. Your regional approach, again, that's what you need to follow, is whatever your regional approach is. But to simply use the tools to create a team is easy. You just simply click Add a Team. If you only have access to one region, then that's all that you have to select for your region. And I'm just going to put the date in here so I know what first. Okay. So that's my name of my team. One of the things that's important to know that you really need to, one of the things is you just need to really think about your teams and how you want to have them set up. You have to select at least 3 people to create a team, and 2 of those people, one of them has to be the project manager, and the other one has to be at least one LWIA. The third person could be, either an employer, adult ed, partner, post-secondary, whatever the case may be. So I'll add a couple of WIAs, and then I'm going to look down here. I need to find my project manager, so I'm going to take one of these project managers, and I'm also going to include a post-secondary person. Now I can see all my people on my team. Now, for each of these sections that you see along the top, expand the bridge, optional training, technical training, job placement, this is the area where you identify who needs to mark off that that service is complete. You may only want the LWIA to be the person that is required to mark that service as complete. I wouldn't select that you, I wouldn't make, I would not suggest that you, have all these people unless that's just what you really, really want to do, to have to mark service complete for all of these, because, then you're really dependent on making sure that all of them mark service complete before it shows up. So I can go ahead and hit save, and my team has been created. Once my team is created, then I can start adding customers to that team. Okay. To add a customer to a team, what I would need to do is go to my customer list, and again it defaults to enrolled, and I'm in the central region. And I'm just going to filter out this list so I can see that these people are not added to a team. When I go to Natasha Telger, December 2nd, my test account, and I click plan, you'll see that I can't access any of this information because my person hasn't been added to a team. Now, I just simply hit the drop down. I can see that I can add this person to any of this. Once I set this person to a team, I cannot move them. Okay. So again, use the lower left-hand section if you're ready to move on, or if you're not ready to move on. And I will go ahead and, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep pressing forward. When we go to our customer list, one of the things that, go to Alan here. Okay. We're going to take a look at information and how it comes from IWDS. The information, once a person is added once a person is enrolled, then you can access their personalized training and employment plan. And something that's a little bit different than the intake process, because the intake process is a lockstep process, you can technically enter this information in any order. However, we do want to point out that some of the wording, we didn't use specific wording because we wanted to make sure that, there are some of the areas that we recommend that you complete first. It's the intention of the personalized training and employment plan is for you to start out, first of all, with where it literally says step 1. It's under the expanded bridge section. And this can be same-day service. It can be, you can enter, it can be backdated if you need to, if you've already completed this section. And you enter the start and end date, and check off when the the steps that are completed. The target occupation. This is a really important one. This is where you enter in the target occupation. When you enter this target occupation, it's also going to identify it on the customer's view, as well as display the core competencies that are related to this target occupation. Once you've completed step 1, you just hit update step 1, and it will update this section of the plan. This section is also very important because step 1 and step 2, because once you have entered in the start and end dates for step 1 and step 2, then those services will be recorded in IWDS and updated with 2 services. You'll be updated with career development exploration and create a personalized training and transitional services plan. And once both steps 1 and 2 are entered, then you can start enrolling customers in other services within IWDS. So it's really important that you do step 1 and step 2. Again, they can be backdated to when it actually took place, and it can be same-day service. Some of the things that you would want to enter into step 2 would be those items that are not identified in the personalized training and employment plan. So, for example, with Alan, we have that he needs to complete his resume, and then also maybe we need to work with him to get some personal protection equipment. So to add those, you can just simply type in the component, click update step 2, and it's added to the list. If I thought, oh, well, that's not right, I can simply remove it and delete the criteria, no big deal. But once that information is entered, then you can start enrolling them in other services. We do have step 3, the MSSC safety, and that is required. In one of the regions, they have incorporated safety as well into another a program, so that they're going like above and beyond safety. They're getting some additional credits in addition to the certificate. So for that particular scenario, what they've done is they've entered in the start and end date for identifying that, yes, this person, well, this is when they were taking the course, and the planned test date, and that they have, completed the section or completed their MSSC safety certificate, and they can sign off that that service is complete. But what they also did was they, in addition, since the course that the person was in was above and beyond the safety certificate, what they did was they added that course. It was an OSHA course, so they went ahead and added that in as another credential. So they put it in there, and then we'll put it as a course, and I'm just going to make up the date, and updated the training plan, and so now that shows up in their plan training. Okay. So let's see, that covers some of the updates that are made to IWDS from the Personalized Training and Employment Plan. And some of the other things, we will get actuals back from IWDS where it says show height assessments. We are currently working on that as well, so you'll see those in the very near future. Okay, so the next area is the job forecasting and work-based learning entry. And we kind of briefly talked about this. Just if you don't mind, if you would just use the polling question in the lower left-hand corner, and let me know if you'd like me to go over the entering in a work site or the forecast or the actual openings, or if you just had a question about that. Open? Polling question open? Okay. If you have any particular questions, okay, Mike says while we're waiting.
Mike, you could talk.
Well, I guess I could. I want to put it in writing also, just so people have it on the chat pod, that individuals do not have to be low income to be eligible. It's we a adult or we a dislocated worker. So somebody could have a job and be low income and be adult eligible. But low income by itself is not a requirement for participation. I had a conversation with someone last week who that appeared to be news to them, so I just wanted to make sure everyone was clear that that is not a requirement to enter the program. You just have to go with basic adult and dislocated worker eligibility.
Thank you. Okay, it looks like a couple people would like to see a demo. we'll just do a really quick demo. The work-based learning job forecast information. You can add new employers. I'm going to go to this employer that's already listed here, and you can see the details. You can add multiple work sites. You can either identify the first area that you enter as a work site, or you can add multiple work sites. Sorry if I get down here further here. And then you can also add contacts for this employer, and then you can apply those different contacts to each of those work sites. So it's not, you don't have to re-enter that information for each work site. It's just simply select which employer's work sites, the contact information for each work site. You can enter the job forecast. The forecast has two basic date ranges. And I'm just going to go ahead and select the option to add a new forecast. I have my short-term and I'm going to have my region, and my short-term and my long-term forecast. I'm going to select my work site, my occupational area, my SOC code. If I change my occupational area, it's going to change my listing of SOC codes that are available. The type of employment, whether it's job shadowing or permanent employment, and how many job shadowing, for this example, how many job shadowing experiences I have. We have the job requirements, so you select what's required, and this will show up in that posting like we looked at the beginning of the webinar. If you have additional requirements, you can add those. Once you add something, then you can either add a new requirement, or if you've already entered one, then you can just select it from your list. To remove it, you just simply uncheck it. And then you have your listing of core competencies. If your employer has additional competencies, you can add those just the same as you did with your requirements. I'm going to hit save. Okay. There we go. And save. And that will appear in my list of my forecast. So I can update those or remove those as needed. I can also have my work-based learning and job postings. Now my job posting is an actual work-based learning experience posting or job posting. So I have my region. It's different because instead of the long-term, short-term date ranges, I actually have to select my date ranges. And then I have my employer. I can just select, if I had multiple work sites, I could select one of the work sites. I'm going to select my SOC code. I'm going to say that this happens to be an internship. And currently, I can only choose the option to display it for all the applicants for the target occupation, which, since this is not permanent employment, this is a work-based learning experience, what it's going to do is make that opportunity available for any case manager to select it for a customer that has that target occupation selected. I'm going to say I have 2 internships available, and we're not going to pay anybody for it. And I have things that I will enter in my, obviously you're going to actually put in your job description and how to apply. And I'm going to select a few of these requirements and the competencies. I'm just going to leave it as my core competencies. And that's now anyone who has a training plan now will be able to, they'll have their career advisor will be able to select that occupation and bookmark it so they can display it to their customer. Okay. Okay. And really, and that's it. Are there any other areas that anybody would like to discuss? Do you have any other questions? One of the things I do want to point out too are on the resources tab, we have the HWL report. And you can access those on the resources tab. And you can also access, I had a question, oh, I don't have my, I guess on my edit side right now, but you'll be able to access the resources, and then also there's IWDS information, instructions that Jim had provided a while back, so you can access those on your resources and production. Okay, and then if you have any questions, as always, please go to the ATIM online guide and submit them through FAQ. And you just go to the online guide, and then you enter in your email and enter in your question, and then we'll receive that email and answer it. And then we can add it directly to the FAQ section. And if you haven't taken a look at the FAQ section in a while, we have added some of the questions that have just been coming in, with just generally people who contact us directly. Oh, okay.
We have
Sarah. Yeah, I saw it. Okay. I have asked my programmer to look at that. So he may have emailed me in the time that we've been on the webinar, but I'll have to get back to you on those. Any other questions? Okay. Well, if not, well, thank you very much, everyone.
Hey, Natasha, this is Jim. I do have something to add, please.
Sure.
Want to make sure everybody understands, after you've submitted your client and they've been randomly assigned, you have to pick them off of those who've been randomly assigned within IWDS. There seems to be some confusion sometimes where people aren't able to find their clients. So once random assignment's completed, you have to go into IWDS and check the spot for random assignment. Is that clear to everybody? And if you want to put a polling question up for that, Dee, I'd appreciate it. That's all I got.
Sure. Jim, do you want to? Oh.
I'm typing.
Okay. Okay, so while Natasha is typing the polling question, does anybody have any other questions about anything that we've covered today? And Sarah is saying there seems to be a small time delay between the step 1 and 2 update and the customer being updated to IWDS to pick.
I can ask my programmer to take a look on that particular syncing process. I know that they reduce the sync time for whenever you mark a person as WIA eligible on the IWDS side. So I can have my programmer take a look at that sync time and see if there's, ways that they can do that to minimize that delay.
Okay, we've got some answers happening with the polling question that Natasha just put up. And
hey, Jim, do you have the training piece up? Because if you're at a place where you can do that, then I could give you access to share your computer screen if you'd like to demo that.
That's fine. If you'd, I'm not sure how to put it in. In there, but I was just typing in where to look for it, so that'd be great.
Okay. Tammy, on your computer screen now, where mine was sharing, do you see a section that says Share My Screen?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so just select that, and then then you'll just select the option to Share My Screen, and then okay, good.
So here you just go to the Search ATIM Group Assignments, and you click on the Search ATIM Group Assignments. So hold on here. Try this again. Search ATIM Group Assignments. Here's where you could search your client by last name, first name, or birth date, or if you just click Search. Now this is going to show you, because this is mine, so it's going to show you all clients. But this is all the clients. It would just pull up your LWIA. But if you put it by name, you're going to find your person who's been randomly assigned. But here, they're showing 48 folks that's still out there randomly assigned. These need to be picked, those that are in the treatment group or control group, or excuse me, treatment group or veterans group, by whomever's the case manager. So there's 5 pages, and this is live activity. So that's where you'd go. So to go over that one more time, from the staff menu page, where it says Search ATIM Group Assignments, click on there. You can search for your person by name, or if you just hit search, it will display all the ones within your local workforce area. Does that make sense?
If it makes sense to you, then we can, if you want to just say, ready for next topic on the poll question. Otherwise, we can have him show you one more time. All right, it looks like we're good, Jim. Thank you for that demonstration.
All right, thank you.
Natasha, do you have anything else to add, or can we end our recording for today?
I believe we can end our recording for today.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us. Again, if you need to find out anything, you can always check the FAQ, send an email to info@illinoisworknet.com, or join us on our next webinar, which will be February 4th. Thank you for joining us today.